Have you ever stopped to think about what really makes a place legendary? Not just, a dot on a map, but a place where history really happened, a birthplace for something huge. Well, today we're doing a deep dive into exactly that kind of place, Rajgad Fort. People call it the King of Forts, and, maybe more importantly, the birthplace of Swarajya, that Shivaji Maharaj's idea of independent Maratha rule. Our mission here is to really dig into the history of Rajgad. We want to figure out how Shivaji Maharaj took this fort, and turned it into the absolute heart of his kingdom, and why it was so crucial for everything he built later on. We've got a whole collection of historical notes and excerpts to help us out.
Yeah, and just to set the scene for you a bit, before it was Rajgad, its name was actually Murumbdev Fort. It's located in the Pune district, Maharashtra, about 40 kilometers or so from Pune city, and it's high up, around 4,300 feet above sea level. Pretty impressive. Originally, though, it belonged to the Adilshahi Sultanate of Bijapur. It was, kind of an old fort, maybe not perfectly maintained, managed by a local commander, a Killedar. But even then, its strategic position was pretty obvious.
Okay, that's interesting. So if it was maybe a bit neglected, how did it end up on Shivaji Maharaj's radar? He was known for his strategy, right? So what made him focus on this particular spot?
Ah, that's where the brilliance comes in. The capture happened around 1647 CE. It was actually pretty soon after he'd taken Torna Fort. And what's really striking, it wasn't some long, drawn-out siege like you might expect. No, the sources we have call it more like strategic planning and small conflict. It seems it all happened quite fast, maybe just a few weeks. Shivaji used a mix of tactics. There was some sharp negotiation, for sure. Plus, he used his influence with the local people there and then, just acted decisively. Swift action. It wasn't just about fighting. It showed you could win by being clever, using diplomacy, getting local support, and moving fast. And right away, he renamed it. From Murumbdev to Rajgad. The King of Forts, a clear message.
Wow, okay, so not just brute force, but a really smart multi-pronged approach. That says a lot. But, leaders don't achieve things like this alone. Shivaji had his genius, yes, but who else was involved? Especially in that Mayville region. Who were the key people backing him up, helping make this happen?
Oh, absolutely. It was definitely a team effort. He had some incredibly loyal and capable people with him, really dedicated. Key figures included Kanhoji Jedhe. He was a major chief in the Mapsec area, and his support was crucial, brought local knowledge, manpower. Then there was Baji Pasalkar, known for being right at the front in many fort captures, very brave commander. Usaji Kank, too. He was Shivaji's personal bodyguard, fiercely loyal. And Netaji Palkar, he later became the Senapati, the commander-in-chief. He was involved in the Mapsec strategy early on, also Morapant Trimbak. He was vital for administration and strategy right after the fort was taken, organizing things. These guys were like the foundation stones for his early success. Shows how important having the right team is, doesn't it?
Oh, it really does. So
Right.
He gets the fort, strategically brilliant move. He's got this solid team. But let's get to the core question. Why Rajgad? What made this fort so unbelievably important to Shivaji Maharaj? How did it become more than just, another military base? Why the heart of Swarajya?
Well, that's the fascinating part. Its importance wasn't just one thing, it was layered. First off, location, right? It was perfectly situated in the Sahyadri Mountains, close to his naval power base, but also near the Konkan coast, which meant access to trade, potentially naval power down the line. And the terrain itself offered amazing natural protection, really hard for enemies to approach, let alone attack effectively. Second, and this is huge, it was the actual capital of his kingdom for 26 years. Think about that, from 1648 all the way to 1674. So not just a temporary camp, this was the official seat of power, a symbol of his rule. And third, it was a command center. Politically, militarily, everything. All his early campaigns, his big decisions that shaped the Maratha Empire, they were planned right there within Rajgad's walls. It wasn't just central on a map, it was where the idea of Swarajya really took solid form.
That's a really powerful way to put it. Not just a fort, but the brain, the nerve center. Okay, so once it became the capital, what did Shivaji actually do to the fort itself? How did he change it physically, administratively, to make it fit this new central role?
Right, he didn't just move in, he actively shaped it. He had a vision, and he built it. Our sources talk about major reconstruction. He built stronger, taller walls, massive bastions for defense, added completely new buildings. The most famous addition is probably the Balakilla, the main royal palace complex, built right at the very top. Best security, best view, and inside these rebuilt walls, he set up the Rajsabha, his royal court. That's where decisions were made, justice handled. He also established a kingdom's treasury there, centralizing the finances. Very important. And it became home. a safe place for his mother, the revered Jijabai, and his queens. Actually, his son, Rajaram, was born there in 1656. That really cemented its legacy as a place for the dynasty, too. Rajgad stayed the capital, the real hub, until 1674, when he eventually shifted the capital to Raigad.
It's incredible to just picture all of that happening within those walls, the politics, the family life, the big strategic decisions. So thinking about that history unfolding, what were some of the truly defining moments, the key events that happened at Rajgad, events that really shaped the Maratha Empire as we know it?
Oh, definitely. Rajgad saw some absolutely pivotal moments. Let's see, 1648, that's when Shivaji officially declared Rajgad the capital of Swarajya, a foundational moment. Then 1656, like I mentioned, the birth of his son Rajaram, a moment of continuation for the future kingdom. Fast forward to 1659, hugely important. The planning for the confrontation with Afzal Khan, that happened at Rajgad. That whole campaign was a make-or-break moment, planned from the safety and strategic advantage of the fort. Later, in 1665, things got difficult. The initial talks about the Treaty of Purandar with the Mughals, they started from Rajgad, shows its role even in diplomacy and, well, compromise. And then in the 1670s, after that legendary escape from Agra, where did Shivaji return first?
Rajgad.
Exactly. He came back to Rajgad, found safety, regrouped there before making the final move to Raigad as his capital. It was his anchor.
What an amazing story. We've really traced its path, haven't we?
Yes.
From this somewhat overlooked fort to being completely transformed by Shivaji Maharaj's vision and action. It literally became the embodiment of Swarajya.
It really did. Rajgad wasn't just a stronghold. It feels accurate to call it the birthplace of the Swarajya vision, you know? It was from right there, from those high walls, that Shivaji carefully built his empire. Not just through war, though there was plenty of that, but also through smart administration, clever diplomacy, building loyalty. It was the whole package, starting there.
It served as his home, his HQ, the foundation of Maratha identity and pride. It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? How many other places out there, maybe overlooked now, just need that spark, that visionary leader to see the potential and turn them into something truly historic, the heart of a whole new movement? Makes you think.